I need you to understand what the difference between a lessee and a lessor is. That's going to be our starting point. Okay, so a lessee versus lessor. Remember that a lease is an agreement requiring one party to give up the right to use an asset, and the other party must make periodic payments in exchange for this right of use. Okay, so let's understand a lessee is the party that receives the right to use the asset. They get the asset. They actually go and pick it up, take it back to their factory. And for that right to use, they make periodic payments. The lessor, on the other hand, is the party that gives up the right to use the asset, and they receive the money, the payments. Okay, that's step number one before you even worry about classification. Make sure you identify properly the lessee and the lessor. Okay, so here's a little diagram. Remember, lessor gives the right of use up to the lessee, who in exchange makes the payment to the lessor. Now that's all well and good, but what do we need to do with accounting? We need to do a journal. That's our starting point. And you'll hear me say this repeatedly. When you start with journals, especially new or complex journals, identify the cash flows first. And that's all we're going to do now. So the lessee in his books, well, don't worry about the debit now, but identify the credit. He is making a payment. So we credit bank because the bank account's going down. On the other side, we have the lessor who is receiving money. If we receive cash, we debit bank. Don't worry about the other debit or credit yet. We're still going to get to that. Moving on, make sure you understand lessee versus lessor, who is making the payment, who is receiving the payment. Thank you.